The one thing you need more than anything else to change your finances or your life for the better is the right mindset. Your mindset makes all the difference. How you think about your money determines how you act with your money. And to become a person who builds wealth, you need to start thinking and therefore acting like a wealth builder. Not sure what that looks like? Well, in this episode, I'm walking you through some of the most impactful mindset shifts you can make to become a person who succeeds with building wealth. Get ready for a money mindset makeover that has you thinking like a real wealth builder.
Hey there, I'm Rhea Reeves, and over a decade ago, I turned my life around through budgeting. I went from being an overspender deep in credit card debt to being the founder and full-time money coach of City Girl Savings. Now, I help women work towards their dream life and tap into their financial power one budget at a time. I fully believe you can live a life you love with a budget, and I'm living proof. The weekly City Girl Savings podcast focuses on the intersection of money and the City Girl lifestyle. Join me every week along with some special guests as I share my experiences, advice, and guidance on navigating life and money as an experience-loving millennial.
So I saw a quote online a couple of years ago that said, a negative mindset can cost you more than any expense. And I had to sit and appreciate how true that quote was. When your mindset isn't up to par, you not only miss out on opportunities that can change your life, but you also rob yourself of any joy that you could have had for what is going right in your life. It's like when you focus on the negative, you only see the negatives. So shifting to this positive mindset will have tremendous impacts outside of just financial ones. But I want to spend a little bit of time breaking down what mindset actually means, because I think it will help if you really are needing this shift to your mindset. So, according to the dictionary, mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. So basically, their philosophy on life or any particular situation. Now, where mindset is critical is what follows as a result of those thoughts and attitudes and beliefs. So, like I mentioned, how you think about something determines how you feel about that thing, and how you feel about that thing determines how you act in relation to that thing. Hopefully, I didn't lose you. So, let me give you an example just in case. Think about eating a piece of cake. And if you think that if you eat this piece of cake, it will make you fat, you may feel gross, and therefore you may not eat that piece of cake if you don't want to be fat. But on the other hand, if when you think about eating that piece of cake, you think, oh, that piece of cake is going to taste so good, and that makes you feel excited, you'll probably eat that piece of cake. So I also want to add that maybe you'll have both thoughts, right? Maybe you'll think, oh my gosh, that cake is going to be so good, but that cake is going to make me fat. Whichever thought produces greater feelings, that will likely lead to whatever you do, right? So whatever thought produces the biggest feelings will likely lead to the action that results from that thought. So if you feel just ultimately disgusted and you don't want to get fat and eating that piece of cake is just gross, you're probably not going to eat it. But if you think, oh, that cake might add a few pounds on me, but oh my gosh, it's going to taste so good and I haven't had sweets in a while and my mouth is watering, you're probably going to eat that cake. So hopefully that example helped, because I know this can be a hard concept to grasp. Feel free to rewind this episode as many times as you need to make sure that you understand it, because I will say it took me a few tries myself to make sure I wrapped my head around it. But now that I have, I understand the importance of mindset, and I am also aware of my thoughts, and I can shift the thoughts that don't serve me. So going back to like closing out mindset as a whole, My entire point, or the thing that I want you to take away, at least from this, is that how you think about things, whether those thoughts are accurate or not, will impact your actions. And that's why mindset is such a powerful force. And the scary thing about that is if you're not aware of how you're thinking, so if you're not aware of your mindset, you may be doing things that truly cause harm to you and you're not even privy to it. So, just start focusing on recognizing your thoughts, understanding mindset. That way you can work to have that awareness. Okay, so let's actually get into the money mindset makeover, the shifts that you need to make in your mindset to start thinking and acting like a wealth builder. The first mindset shift you need to make is from scarcity to abundance. Now, this is probably the most impactful mindset shift that anybody can make. If you are constantly thinking in terms of lack, or I don't have enough, or there will never be enough, you will never be able to appreciate what you do have. It just will never be enough. So you're not going to be focused on that. You will always be focused on what you don't have. So let's pulse check here. Do you find yourself constantly thinking about how broke you are or how little money you make? Instead of thinking that, I want you to start thinking this shift from there's always more for me to have, right? So instead of thinking there's never enough money, I want you to think there are always opportunities for me to earn and grow more. So a simple shift. Instead of thinking there's never enough, think there's opportunities for more. So while this mindset shift from scarcity to abundance is probably the most impactful one you can make, it's also one that doesn't require a lot of outside effort, right? One way to kind of help you make this mindset shift and, work towards building true wealth is to start practicing gratitude for what you do have, right? And that can start instantly. So appreciate you having a job, you having the ability to pay your bills, you having credit cards that may have got you through a tough time. Appreciate the job you have, the hours you're able to work, appreciate the roof over your head. Instead of thinking about, oh my gosh, I wish I had my own house, appreciate what you do have. Start practicing gratitude for what is currently going right in your situation. And when you do this, don't think that, well, it's just not enough. That's not coming from a place of gratitude. Don't think about it not being enough. Don't think about you wanting more. Just focus on appreciating what you currently have and appreciate your ability to go out and obtain more. Now, I did a whole episode about the scarcity mindset, City Girl Savings, episode number 85. I will link to that in the show notes if you want to dive deeper into this particular mindset shift. All right, the next mindset shift you'll want to make to start thinking like a wealth builder is shifting your mindset from spending to investing. So this mindset shift is all about viewing your money as a tool for growth, not just consumption. When you spend, the money is gone. Sure, you may have something in exchange for it, but that money is gone. On the flip side, when you invest, your money works for you to create more wealth. So you are giving up your money so that you can get more money in the future. Now, this could mean traditional investments like stocks or real estate, or it could also mean personal investments like investing in your education or building upon certain skills that you have. So people who build and maintain wealth think differently about money. Instead of asking, how much can I afford to spend? They ask, how can I make this money grow? Now, let's make one thing clear here. This doesn't mean that you never spend your money on things you enjoy. It's definitely about finding a balance between enjoying your money now, but also securing your financial future. So maybe instead of buying the latest iPhone, you take that money and put it into an investment account or invest it towards learning a skill that will help you make more money in the future. Maybe instead of dining out multiple times a week, you dine out once or twice or one or two times less and use that money to pay off debt or build an emergency fund. So, wealth builders have a knack for being future focused, especially since compounds grow substantially over time. This is why investing in the stock market is one of the best ways to build long term wealth. So, right now, instead of seeing every dollar as a way to get something right now, like what can I get for this money? What can I buy with this money? How can I spend this money? Start thinking of your dollars as seeds, okay? And when you plant them, AKA invest, they grow into something bigger over time. If you only spend your money, you'll never have the opportunity to reap the benefits of compounded growth. So, how can you make this mindset shift a reality? I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, but I also want you to start taking action and start implementing and making this shift. So, here are some things you can do to help make that shift a reality. The first thing you can do is identify an area to reallocate funds from. So, when you are looking at your budget, look at your discretionary spending categories and just choose one area. So, whether that's entertainment, dining out, coffees, whatever, find an area you can slightly cut back. Okay, nothing crazy here, but just slightly. How can you spend a little bit less on those discretionary things and take that difference and put it in an investment account? Another thing you can do is actually open an investment account. I know this can be a scary step if you've never had any experience with investing, but if you don't already have one set up, just open up a simple investment account. This could be just a general brokerage account. It could be a Roth IRA. We just want to have that account open and ready. So when we start putting money into it, it can start working for you. Another thing you can do is start small. Allocate $50 a month to consistently investing. Move that $50 to your investment account and watch it grow over time. And the final thing that you can do is automate it. Automate your contributions to your investment account so you don't have to think about it. It will become habitual, just like paying a bill. This is what I do for my investment accounts. I have a set amount of money going into those accounts every single month. It's automatic. I don't have to worry about it. It does what it needs to do and it invests that money. Make it as simple as possible for yourself.
Are you loving this episode so far? Well, the money and life level up conversations never end in the City Girl Savings community. Visit citygirlsavings.com for instant access to resources that help you budget, level up your money mindset, and so much more. And make sure you stay up to date with CGS by following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at City Girl Savings.
All right, the next mindset shift you'll want to make to start thinking like a wealth builder is shifting from short-term wants to long-term desires. So, shifting from instant gratification to long-term planning means that you are learning to delay the temptation of spending money on just short-term wants, things you don't really need, for the sake of achieving bigger financial goals that you have. So I do want to make one thing clear. This is not about deprivation. It is about aligning your spending with your values and your future hopes and dreams. And I will be the first to admit that this is hard. We live in a world where we can have anything in an instant. We can get answers. We can order with one click. We can have anything delivered. Instant gratification is literally what makes our economy go round. However, to think like a wealth builder, you need to be able to shift your thinking from obtaining those short-term wants instantly to achieving your long-term desires. So yes, we are delaying our gratification right now in the moment, but we know it's going to be worth it for what we get in the future. Now, instant gratification is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth. It keeps you stuck in this cycle of impulsive spending and living paycheck to paycheck and spending your money to feel better. But on the flip side of that, long term planning really allows you to make those thoughtful decisions about how to use your money in ways that actually align with the things you want most, your biggest goals. And it gives you the power to create that lasting financial security and freedom. And if you really take the time to think about it, isn't that more important than feeling good in the moment, anyways? 9 times out of 10, the actions that lead us to feeling good in the moment usually hurt our future selves. And we got to make that shift. We need to stop thinking, I deserve this now, and start thinking, what do I deserve in the future? What does my future self deserve? Wealth builders prioritize their future selves by really making those smart, intentional choices today. They see the bigger picture and they recognize that, small sacrifices now can really lead to bigger and better things in the future. Now, I think one thing that really keeps us in the cycle of instant gratification is this thought that we'll be missing out on something if we don't indulge. Okay. So, FOMO, fear of missing out, is a real thing, but it's misleading. It's fear based. It's not actual. It's not reality. So, instead of thinking, if I don't buy it now, I'll miss out, I want you to think, if I save now, I'll gain so much more later. Okay, so we're shifting from, if I don't get this now, if I don't indulge right now, I'm going to miss out on something. I want you to instead think, if I save this now, if I don't spend my money now, I will get so much more in the future. And remind yourself that the joy of achieving a meaningful goal, a goal that matters to you, really outweighs the fleeting, instant excitement of an impulse purchase. Now, since this mindset shift does require you to be more future focused, make sure you take some time to actually think about what you want your life to look like in the future. Visualization is a powerful practice that can really help you achieve the things you want most. It's something that I've been doing for myself for years and years, and I have zero doubt it's contributed to where I am today. Check out podcast episode number 11, The Power of Visualization to help you reach your goals, for more on visualization. I will link to it in the show notes. All right, the next mindset shift you need to make to start thinking like a wealth builder is shifting from a fear of money to confidence with money. So I remember I took an online course a few years ago, and there was like a mindset coaching aspect to it. And I remember when I first heard the concept that people could be afraid of money or afraid of success, it completely rocked my world. It had never occurred to me that people may subconsciously avoid money and success because of what they think will happen, like who they think they may become when they obtain those things, or what they think it will mean to those whose opinions matter the most to them. This is a real thing, and I never knew until I heard it. But to think and act like a wealth builder, you have to recognize that any fear of money or success that you have needs to be worked through. The shift needs to take you to a point where you are comfortable and confident with money. Otherwise, you're going to do things to avoid money and success. Like, yeah, you may actually want what comes with that, but if you really are afraid of what that will mean when you become a successful, wealthy person, those fears could keep you from obtaining the success you deserve. So moving from fear to confidence with money really means taking control of your finances instead of letting your finances control you. So some examples: fear may look like you avoiding bank statements, not looking at your accounts, skipping budgeting altogether, or just feeling paralyzed when you have to make money decisions. But confidence, on the other hand, is really about you facing your money head on with curiosity and a proactive approach. So fear will lead to inaction, and inaction keeps you stuck in the same financial patterns. But when you gain confidence, you actually empower yourself to make informed decisions, to manage your money more effectively, and to create a financial plan or a budget that actually works for you. So, confidence does not mean you know everything because nobody knows everything, but it does mean that you are willing to learn and take small intentional steps forward. So, instead of thinking, I'm bad with money or I can never have money, I can never be successful, I want you to start thinking, I'm learning to get better with money every day. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from consistent action and self compassion and having grace with yourself as you navigate your financial journey. So, I do want to share just a few examples of building money confidence over money fear. So, I'm going to share some fearful thoughts and then the opposite confidence thought. So, fearful thinking may look like, I will never get out of debt, so why bother? Why stop using credit cards? Why put extra money towards it? The confident way of thinking is, I have a plan to tackle my debt one step at a time. So it's not, oh, this is going to happen overnight or, oh, I'm going to be debt free soon. It's one step at a time. I'm taking action. Another fearful thought or fearful way of thinking could be, I don't even want to look at my bank account. I don't want to see what's there. I don't want to see where my money has been going. But the confident way of thinking about that is, I'm going to schedule time to review my finances regularly and stay on top of them. Okay, so this is one of those mindset shifts that is probably going to take a while to work through, especially if you weren't previously aware of any fear of money or success you actually had. Okay, but I do want to leave you with some actionable steps that you can take to build that confidence with money over time. So, first thing you can do, educate yourself. Start small, get a book on personal finance, listen to podcasts more regularly, take an online course, or take a course at a local community college about budgeting, investing, or debt management. Start educating yourself and do so with small, digestible bites of financial education. Another thing you can do is create a money routine. So set aside time each week or each pay period for a money date. And during this money date with yourself, review your spending, check your account balances, track your progress towards your goals. Another thing you can do is celebrate small wins. Like every time you achieve something in your finances, acknowledge it and reward yourself for it. No matter how small it may seem, celebrate your wins. And finally, seek support. If managing money feels overwhelming, do not hesitate to ask for help. Work with a finance coach, join a supportive community, or confide in someone you trust. Okay, the final way to think like a wealth builder is to shift from I can't to how can I? So, this final mindset shift is really taking your focus off of the problem and putting it onto the solution. So, shifting from I can't to how can I really transforms this mindset of limitation, of fear based, of problem focus into one of problem solving and creativity. I can't is a mindset that really stops you in your tracks, right? Like, I can't, it's done, end of story. But how can I opens the door to possibilities, to solutions, to opportunities that maybe you haven't even considered before. So, this mindset of I can't, I won't, I can't do it really reinforces doubt. It blocks progress. It convinces you that obstacles are just too much to get through. But flipping that narrative to how can I puts you in control, puts the power back in your hands. It encourages you to look for answers and take action and try different things, even in challenging situations. So, wealth builders, as you can imagine, are very solution focused. They seek ways to overcome barriers rather than accepting them as what is. So, instead of thinking, I can't afford to save, I want you to think, how can I create space in my budget to save? It's about really seeing the challenges that you have as opportunities to learn, to grow, to innovate. And anytime you come across a financial problem, or any problem in any area of your life, try to put yourself in a position of power. Put yourself in the position of problem solver. Go into solution focused mode. What are the things you can do to help you solve this problem? What solutions are out there to make your life easier? So, there you have it. The ways you can start thinking like a wealth builder. Each of these mindset shifts are necessary to becoming a person who builds wealth. And this money mindset makeover can really help you take your life and money to new heights, which I am totally here for. Things that you have never thought possible can become within reach for you. And that's an incredible feeling. So, put yourself out there, do the work, shift your mindset, and don't give up.
Thank you so much for letting me be the money coach in your ear today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the City Girl Savings Podcast and you feel empowered and motivated to take the next step in the journey to your dream life. Remember, if someone like me, a millennial who loves to travel, new experiences, and iced coffees can live a life they love on a budget, you can too.